madam.
Good evening, everyone. IAP office bearers, all the dignitaries, and each and every IAP member who are here today. A warm welcome to the official function of the release of the module AHA syndrome, which is a part of Presidential Action Plan 2022. And IAP Kottayam is hosting today's function. And I'm extremely happy and honored to be a part of this function. And I don't think most of the senior members know me, because this is for the first time I'm becoming a part of an official function of IAP Kerala. So first of all, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. Parvati, pediatrician working in Government Health Service, Kozhikode. Now let's move on to the official function of the release of the module AHA syndrome, dealing with an expensive luxury. AHA, that is anger, hostility, and aggression. Anger is the emotion or the feeling. Hostility is the attitude, and aggression is the behavior. And these three things are interlinked. And we know that this anger is one of the powerful emotions of human being, especially adolescent. And I have heard somewhere caught saying anger is exactly one letter short of the word danger. So once this anger is getting out of control, it becomes a danger. And especially this adolescent, this immature adolescent brain reacts to this anger very aggressively. And we used to hear a lot of heartbreaking news in the media, like a son killing his own mother out of anger for simple reasons, for silly reasons. These are not happening in our society. So I think this module is the need of the hour to prevent such heartbreaking incidents happening in our society. And actually, I didn't understand what exactly this phrase, this expensive luxury, means in this context, because this luxury itself is expensive, and adding the adjective expensive again makes it much more expensive. So what I interpreted is that we usually think that becoming angry is free of cost, is a free emotion, but we don't realize that it can really affect our physical, mental, and social well-being. So actually, this anger will cost us. We'll have to pay for it in our life. That we don't realize, that we don't understand. That's what I understood from the phrase. I asked Dr. Sanju sir yesterday, what does it actually mean, sir? And he said, it cannot be explained in simple words. You will have to listen to the module. Then only you will understand the real meaning of it. So I'm eagerly waiting for the module. So to begin with, let me invite the president of the hosting branch, IAP Kottayam, Dr. Joseph Patani sir, who is the director and head of the Department of Pediatrics at Mitera Women and Child Hospital, Kottayam. And he has nearly 40 years of experience in the field of pediatrics. And when I searched to know more about him, I could find that he's having a YouTube channel, and he had uploaded a lot of informative videos which are quite beneficial to the public. So I'm extremely happy to invite Dr. Joseph Patani sir for the welcome address. Over to you, sir.
A warm good evening to all the senior members of the profession, all IAPs and other professionals here. According to Presidential Action Plan 2022, IAP Kerala, IAP Kottayam, as well as AHA Kerala is organizing a program on AHA today. Two parts is involved in today. One is on release of the module regarding AHA, dealing with an expensive luxury. The second part, dealing with an expensive luxury, I was also trying to get to the exact meaning, but I could not get the ask, Parvati said. The second section is the scientific part about AHA syndrome. We have here many stalwarts in the field of pediatrics, especially Dr. Shibu K, chairperson of the AHA, Dr. Vijay Kumar, our state president, Dr. T. Sukumaran, our ex-national president as a professor of pediatrics, and now he is the head of the department of pediatrics in Caritas Hospital. Dr. O. Jose is coming, actually, president-elect Kerala. Dr. T.P. Jairam, immediate past president. Dr. Narayanan, executive member of CIP, and Dr. Riaz is already here, the executive member of Central IAP. Dr. Joni Sebastian, our secretary, and Dr. Ranjit, South Zone EBM Central AAP member, AHA member. Then our secretary, Prija, and Dr. Deepa Janathan, secretary of AHA Kerala. The scientific section is managed by, actually, the introduction by Dr. Sanju Joy from Kozhikode. He is REC, he is working in REC in Kozhikode. and the management of the whole system for AHI and this AHI syndrome. The speaker is Dr. Premjit, Rehabilitation Psychologist, RIC, Calicut Medical College, and chairperson is our well-beloved P. Krishnakumar, the professor of pediatrics and director of IMHANS, Calicut. The moderator is Dr. Parvati, pediatrician from Calicut. And all these members are present. So I don't want to, because so many people are involved and the time is limited, and we are eager to hear the scientific section as a leasing module. I want to extend, I don't want to talk anything about each individual, but I extend you all hearty welcome to this meeting. Let's all enjoy the meeting and study the scientific side also. Thank you very much. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now, may I invite Dr. Shibuki, sir, who is the dynamic chairperson of AHA Kerala and who is the consultant pediatrician at Taluk Hospital, Malappuram. And he is also doing a lot of welfare activities as a part of Shishu Paripalana Kendram, Malappuram. And he's a good writer too. I was surprised to see him writing a lot of socially relevant things in the social media with a touch of humor. So I'm proud to invite Dr. Shibu, sir, for giving the presidential address.
Thank you, Parvati, for nice words. Respected T.U. Sukumaran sir, Vijay Kumar sir, Joseph Patani sir, Jose sir, Jayaraman sir, Narayan sir, Riaz ji, Joni sir, Krishna Kumar sir, Renjit, Sanju, Dr. Prija, Dr. Deeba, Mr. Premjit, and other respected dignitaries on the platform. First of all, I would like to thank IAP Kottayam for hosting this session. Today, we are releasing the first module of AHA 2022, that is AHA syndrome. And we have planned to release 4 more modules in this year. That's our exam stress, adolescent relationship, protective factors in adolescence, family life education. Last year, we have released 4 modules. That is suicide prevention, lifestyle modification, gender equality, and media usage. And the South Zone AdolesCon 2022 is scheduled on 21 August at IMA House, Cochin. I request you all to participate the CME. And 1 week prior to the South Zone AdolesCon, we are planning an online workshop on anger management by Dr. Swati Bhave Madam. And on 20th August, that is 1 day prior to the AdolesCon, that is on Saturday, at GH Ernakulam, we are planning a workshop on suicide prevention in adolescents. And I request all to continue your support for AHA activities, and I requesting you to all to take membership on AHA. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Now we have with us the great personality whom we don't need any introduction. Our own IAP State President, Dr. Vijay Kumar, sir, who is the head of the Department of Pediatrics at Manjeri Medical College, Malappuram, and a great academician, a veteran pediatric endocrinologist, above all, a great, superb, humble human being. All these adjectives are not enough to describe him, and he's a real role model for all the young pediatricians like us. With utmost respect, I invite Dr. Vijay Kumar, sir, for delivering the address.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati, for the nice words. The respected Dr. T.U. Sukumaran sir, the doyen of pediatrics, and Dr. Joseph Patani sir, the president of IAP Kottayam, Dr. Johnny Sebastian, the secretary of IAP Kerala, Dr. Shibu, chairperson of AHA, then Dr. Jose, Dr. T.B. Jayaraman sir, Dr. Narayanan, Dr. Riaz, Dr. Renjit, Dr. Prija, Dr. Deepa Janardhanan, Dr. Sanju, Dr. Krishna Kumar, and all other stalwarts. Today, we are releasing yet another module of prepared by AHA. And last year, I have to congratulate AHA for releasing 4 more very important modules. And this year, they are planning to release 5 more modules. And this is one among them, AHA syndrome. I am not discussing about the syndrome, but Dr. Parvati had already said the anger, hostility, and aggression. And actually, last 2 days, many of our colleagues are asking, what is AHA syndrome? And I just kept it as a secret, and everybody has hope that everybody will join today and see what and know what is the syndrome. And I thank the AHA for giving a great support for me this year, and I hope the program. I congratulate the IAP Kottayam branch also. I wish the program a grand success. Jai Hind, Jai IAP. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I am blessed to invite Dr. T.U. Sukumaran, sir, past National President of IAP 2011 and past President of Respiratory Chapter Central IAP, whose special interest is in childhood asthma and has nearly 40 years of teaching experience in different medical college. And I invite Dr. T.U. Sukumaran, sir, to release the socially relevant module and for delivering the inaugural address. Over to you, sir.
Okay, beloved President of the Chairperson of the AHA, Adolescent Health Academy, my beloved friend Dr. Shibu, State President Dr. Vijay Kumar, Kottayam District Branch President Dr. Joseph Patani, Dr. Juni, Dr. Pooja, and the Secretary of AHA, Dr. Deepa Janathan, and other all dignitaries of the on the platform, and beloved brothers and sisters in the academy and my dear friends. It gives me great pleasure and privilege to be here, to be a part of this this Zoom meeting and release of the module on AHA, anger, hostility, and aggression syndrome. It's called AHA syndrome. As most of us said, I was also ignorant about this syndrome, and I had an online search. When I searched AHA, first it came as arthritis, hives, angioedema. as an allergy person who was interested in allergy, AHA came as arthritis, hives, angioedema. Then I thought it was an adolescent problem. Then he has told me that it is anger, hostility, and aggression. I am very, very happy that the Adolescent Chapter of Indian Academy of Pediatrics, they have released 4 modules last year, and this year also they are going with 4 modules also. I am happy that Dr. Shibu is with us. I know Shibu was a PG student. Actually, Shibu did his DCH in Calicut Medical College. When I was invited from the examiner, most of the time Shibu will come to the railway station to pick me up as the examiner. So from that time onwards, I know Shibu. And last 14th and 15th, I was again at Manjeri also. Manjeri also is the convener of this IAP home there. And he has released a fantastic souvenir also for the IAP summer pedicon. And Dr. Parvati was telling, he's a very good writer. He writes on social problems also. And he's a very good organizer also. It is a very good souvenir on summer pedicon that he has prepared. And one more thing is that about AHA syndrome. Somewhere this is as AHA syndrome. Then I searched about AHA syndrome. Then I found there's a very good book written by Dr. Sadi Bave. Sadi Bave is coming. Shibu was telling, Dr. Sadi Bave, who is a very, very close friend of mine, close associate of mine. He is coming for the annual conference at Cochin. And the man has written a book on AHA syndrome and cardiovascular risk. This AHA syndrome with a cardiovascular risk. I think it's a very good book. I request all of you to go through this book. It's a very good book that I have read. And since I am unaware of this syndrome, I am not going to the scientific aspect of this syndrome. I again congratulate the state president for his fantastic action plan. Congratulate Patani for taking up the lead for organizing this Zoom meeting, and also for the release of the module. And also I congratulate the AHA team, Deepa Janathan and Shibu also for initiating this action. And also the writing group. I think mainly the writing group is by Dr. Sanju Joy, and the speaker is Dr. Prijit, and the moderator is my beloved friend and the outstanding pediatric psychiatrist, Dr. Krishna Kumar. And with great pleasure, I take this opportunity to release the module, and I wish this meeting all the best. Thank you. AAP, JK.
Thank you so much, sir, for releasing the module and for delivering this inaugural address. Now, for the felicitations, first let me invite Dr. Jose O, President-elect 2022. Sir is the Additional Professor, Government Medical College, Alappuzha, and Secretary of Pediatric Allergy and Immunology Group, Central IAP. And he's the President of Pediatric Allergy Association of India. So I invite Dr. Jose O, sir, for the felicitation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. And today, Chairperson Dr. Shibu Kirakatara, and today our State President Dr. Vijaykumar, State Secretary Dr. Joni. Today, the Chief Guest and our mentor, my mentor and our teacher of the teacher, Dr. Sumar sir, IAP Kottayam Branch President Dr. Patani sir, Dr. Prija, Dr. Deepa, and Dr. Riaz, and Senior Dr. Jairam sir, Dr. Narayan. And today, the faculty, Dr. Sanuja Joy and Dr. Kishomar sir, and all the senior members of the IAP Kerala State Branch and IAP Kottayam Branch. I also very much understood. I didn't understand why AHA syndrome. I also searching for that. What was in this AHA syndrome? So Adolescent Health Academy is organizing a AHA syndrome. I also have no idea about that. So what why searching a lot of things, I get an idea for what is AHA. So it is a very Adolescent Health Academy is doing a lot of module prepared by under leadership of Dr. Shibu and the team. I wish the opportunity to congratulate the AHA team, and IAP Kerala is preparing a lot of module regarding the adolescent issue, because we know adolescent issues are for the post-COVID, we are facing a lot of issues in adolescence. So like anger and hostility and everything is very common in a adolescent is concerned. So I think this is a very important module for AP Kerala or all the adolescents of India is very important for this era of post-COVID seasons. I think this will be very useful for all of us to important to tackling the adolescent issue in a common practice. I wish you, I take the opportunity to congratulate Dr. Vijaykumar taken this as a very important, prestigious module for preparing of important, given due important for adolescent issues in tackling and preparing the module for that. I wish Kottayam branch taken the leadership, organizing a lot of activities in the year and hosting for inauguration a lot of action plan of IAP Kerala. I wish all the best for IAP Kottayam and IAP Kerala and AHA of things for AHA Association for the leadership for that. Wish you all the best. Jai Hind, Jai IAP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your great words. Now, may I invite Dr. T.P. Jayaraman, sir, immediate past president of IAP Kerala, who is in charge of District Early Intervention Center, Palakkad, and who is the consultant pediatrician at Dane Diagnostics, Palakkad. And what to say, a down-to-earth person, a humble human being. And I was lucky enough to share a panel with him on the topic back to school. And I invite you, sir, for the felicitation.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Parvati, for the nice words. Respected President of IAP Kottayam, Dr. Patani, Dr. Sumaran sir, Dr. Vijaykumar, Dr. Johnny, Dr. Jose, Dr. Deepa, Shibu, Ranjit, Riaz, and all the other dignitaries on the platform. As over the years, we had been witnessing a tremendous growth in the activities of Adolescent Health Academy of Kerala State. And it has become a big force to reckon with. As in Kerala as well as national level, they are doing a lot of activities. Actually, last year, Adolescent Health Academy got the best specialty award in Kerala as well as a national level. And they are continuing their activities, and by preparing the 5 modules last year, again, they are continuing another 5 modules this year, and introducing a new topic on anger, hostility and aggression and anger management, which is actually, as Dr. Joe's telling, adolescent problems in pediatrics has become so important because it was a no man's land where they were doubting whether they were children or they were adults. And it's so nice that IAP has come with so many modules, and IAP is very active in the care of adolescents of our country. And I congratulate Shibu, Deepa, Sanju, and all the others who are behind these wonderful modules. and wish the very best for their continuing activities in the coming years. Thank you so much for the opportunity and wish the very best.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. Riaz I, Additional Professor of Pediatrics, Government Medical College, Trivandrum, and also the National EB member of Central IAP. And his special interest is in endocrinology, and he is in charge of Pediatric Endocrinology Clinic at SAT Hospital, Trivandrum. I invite you, sir, for the felicitation.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. Actually, this meeting on AHA syndrome has elicited a lot of interest among all of us, because this was something, because when Dr. Deepa called me and told about the program, I thought this is a syndrome which affects the members of Adolescent Health Academy. So then I searched and found out, like all the beloved ones here told. And I think this is a very important thing, because I thought all of us also should hear this, because anger, even though we all are very gentle people, like most pediatricians, but anger can overpower any of us at any time. And I always remember one incident when we are talking about anger. I don't know whether you remember, in newspaper, in all newspapers it appeared. It happened in Trivandrum only. So one police officer parked his car in front of somebody's house, and there was a quarrel between the two, and the house owner just fell before another vehicle, and he lost his life. And the police officer ran off, hiding, and later he was found committing suicide later. So actually, with that anger, two families lost their most important people. So it can happen. This anger can actually cause havoc in any situation. So I think it is a great thing that we are making this module and teaching our adolescents, as well as all of us, how to control anger and also the related issues. I wish all the best, and I'm so happy to see all of you, like as we are not having many of the physical meetings. But I have met Patani sir and Ranjit in in the recent days because of the other meeting. It's a very pleasurable event that all of us are together. All the best for all the leaders of AHA, because all of you are very close to my heart. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, sir, for the great words. Now we have Dr. Joni Sebastian, the very vibrant secretary of IAP Kerala. He is working as a consultant pediatrician in Talasheri under Kerala Government Health Service. He is the pillar, he is the backbone of all the IAP activities of our state. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Parvati. Good evening, all. Respected Chair, Dr. Shibu, the President of AHA Chapter. My leader and guide, the State President, the visionary leader behind the Presidential Action Plan Promise, Vijay Kumar Sir. Sukumaran Sir, past National President, a don in the field of pediatric pulmonology, and also my well-wisher in IAP. Joseph Patani Sir, President IAP Kottayam. Immediate past President Jayaraman Sir, National EB member and past Secretary of IAP Kerala, Riaz Sir, esteemed faculty members of the day, Dr. Ranjit, Dr. Jose O, the President, vibrant President-elect of IAP Kerala, Narayanan Sir, then the vibrant secretaries of IAP Kottayam and AHS chapter, Dr. Deepa and Dr. Preeja, Dr. Ranjit, my own team member and EB member South Zone of AHA, other seniors and dear friends who have joined us today on this virtual platform. At the outset, let me congratulate IAP Kottayam as well as AHA chapter for organizing this excellent inaugural function for the release of this all-important module. As we all know, AHA chapter has been a pride for IAP Kerala during the past 1 year, as well as they are continuing activities at the same pace this year also. And we all know IAP Kottayam has always been in the forefront of activities at IAP Kerala, and I congratulate IAP Kottayam team for hosting the AHA module released today. As we all know, it's a very common phenomenon, the aggression, hostility, as well as anger among the adolescents, and they are all interlinked as well. So I wish this webinar all the very best. Thank you. Jai Hind, JIAP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, with great pleasure, I invite the very vibrant person, Dr. Ranjit P., South Zone EB member, Central AHA, who is working as Junior Consultant in Pediatrics, CHC Panamaram, Wayanad, and the person whom we can call at any time to clear our doubts and queries. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. Respected our Doyen of Pediatrics, Sukumaran sir, respected Patani sir, Vijay sir, Joe sir, Riya sir, Joni sir, and respected my teacher and the Krishnamar sir, who was the president when I was secretary of IAP Kozhikode, and Dr. Deepa, Dr. Preja, and Dr. Manu, and today's speaker, my dear friend, Dr. Sanju and Mr. Premjit. And with very pleasure, we are continuing the activities of the AHA. We had got the best award in the last year for the best subspecialty chapter. Last year exactly, we had released 6 modules last year, including the most important suicide prevention action plan. Last year we had released suicide prevention action plan, lifestyle disease module, media usage, life skills, drug abuse prevention, gender equality module, by the support of all the team members from the IAP Kerala and AHA Kerala. And these modules are available in our website also. If anyone can need, you can download from our website. And this year also the AHA Kerala, under the vibrant leadership of Shibu sir, Diva ma'am, and Dr. Sanju, releasing 5 modules. So best wishes for the AHA Kerala team this year. And also the IAP Kottayam branch, who is the forefront of all the activities of IAP Kerala. So best wishes for the program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite the Dynamic Secretary of IAP Kottayam, Dr. Preja S., for the felicitations. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. First of all, I would like to thank IAP Kerala President Vijay Kumar sir, Secretary Johnny Sebastian sir, the Chairperson of AHA Kerala Dr. Shibu sir, and Secretary AHA Kerala Dr. Deepa madam for giving IAP Kottayam an opportunity to host the release of module on AHA syndrome. The present generation adolescents are actually living in a world of violence, as witnessed by many incidents are happening around them, which is very unfortunately glorified in both social media as well as newspapers, resulting in deviation of their thinking to the most negative emotion of human beings. So we pediatricians have a definite role in their life, as reflected by many activities being taken up by IAP, including prevention of non-communicable diseases, suicide prevention, and many other programs. I wish AHA Kerala success in its venture of releasing this module at a time when all adolescents badly need a guidance to deal with the most negative but the most strongest emotion of a human being. I hope today's module will definitely be a stepping stone for many similar modules in future. And once again, I thank all the AHA members and IAP Kerala for allowing IAP Kottayam to host the release of this module. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Now, without wasting much time, we are moving on to the much awaited scientific section of the day. And it's a great privilege to have Dr. P. Krishnamar sir as a chairperson of today's scientific session. And he is the additional professor of pediatrics, Government Medical College, Kozhikode, and he is also the director of INHANS, Institute of Mental Health and Neuroscience, a place where all those children just fly with wings under the guidance of Krishnamar sir. And he's a person of simplicity. And we used to envy the great pediatric couple at MCH Kozhikode. And with utmost respect, I invite Dr. Krishnamar sir to talk about today's module. Sir.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati, for the nice words. President of today's session, Dr. Shibu, IAP State President, Dr. Vijay Kumar, Dr. Joseph Patani, President, Kottayam IAP, Sukumaran sir, Dr. Jose, Dr. T.P. Jayaraman, Dr. Narayanan, Dr. Riaz, Johnny Sebastian, Renjit, Dr. Preja, and Dr. Deepa, the vibrant AHA secretary. I should thank the AHA for considering this aspect, preparing the module, and organizing this session, releasing the module, and also the Kottayam IAP for taking the initiative. As all the speakers were telling, nobody is aware of the syndrome. And when you talk about the AHA syndrome, the main one of the complaints about the ICD-DSM classification or the psychiatric classification system is that you are trying to make normal emotions some syndromes. So syndromization is a complaint. So normal reactions, normal behavior is converted to labeled as syndromes. So that is why we all know about anger, the negative emotions, anger, hostility, aggression. Only thing is that the syndrome concept is new to pediatricians and others. Actually, we used to talk about type A personality, which is strongly associated with metabolic syndrome, cardiac disorders, and all. It's actually all these negative emotions. It is now proved that can lead to hormonal changes, steroid hormone changes, or adrenaline things, and that can lead to problems. When we consider these emotions, anger, hostility, aggression, it need not always be negative. Dr. Sanju will be talking about, and I should also congratulate Dr. Sanju for preparing the module. It took a lot of effort in preparing the module with input from our clinical psychologist, Sanjit, Premjit, Sangeeta, and others. So he will be talking about these various aspects of these syndromes. So when we consider these emotions, it can be adaptive and maladaptive. Sanju will be elaborating that aspect. And the other thing is, when we think of these type of emotions in a child, we should consider three factors. One is what we call temperament. Temperament is what we call personality in adult. In an adolescent or a child, usually we talk about temperament. And there can be anxious temperament, aggressive temperament, or different types of hyperactive temperament, different types of temperamental traits. And the other thing is situational factors. As Riaz was talking about the incidents in Trivandrum, situational factors contribute to violent behavior to a significant extent. And thirdly, disorders associated with aggression, like seizures, psychosis, and in children, disruptive behavior disorders like ADHD, other disorders. So these are the three aspects which we should consider when you deal with a child with aggressive behavior or anger control problems. And the important aspect is all these behaviors in childhood, there is a tendency to continue to adolescence and adulthood. And there will be biological connections also, structural changes occurring in the brain, your outlook changing. Actually, all these things should start during childhood. Temper tantrums in the child. And this child during adolescence may be developing problems. And in adult, developing problems as described by Dr. Riaz. And these momentary emotions, emotional outburst or anger has long-lasting implications. It may change the whole life of a person. And an impulsive act like aggression towards a person can change the whole life of a person. And Other thing is, there is a lot of, as Sumaran sir was mentioning, there are a lot of metabolic disorders, hypertension or cardiac diseases, even cancer is associated with these negative emotions. So with these words, actually, when this module is presented, even though we talk about adolescence, all these are important in childhood also. And training parents in imparting parenting skills, it also is important. So with these words, I conclude my remarks and I invite Sanju to present the module. Hello.
Thank you, sir, for the very informative and enlightening speech. Now, with immense pleasure, may I introduce the first speaker of the day, Dr. Sanju Joy, pediatrician at Regional Early Intervention Center and Autism Center, MCH Kozhikode. And Dr. Sanju Joy did his MBBS from Government Medical College, Kozhikode, and DCH from Father Muller Medical College, and again DNB from Government Medical College, Kozhikode. And he did postgraduate diploma in adolescent pediatrics from Trivandrum Medical College. And he's a socially committed pediatrician doing a lot of activities and intervention for the autistic children as well as other differently abled children. And under the guidance of him, the REAC team of MCH Kozhikode is doing a wonderful job. So I invite Dr. Sanju Joy, sir, for today's topic introduction and briefing. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Parvati. Thank you, Parvati. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Respected dignitaries in the dais, from Sumaran sir, Patani sir, Vijaykumar sir, and I'm not going to name each and every person. Thank you for all to represent in this module meeting. And as this module is a combined effort, the mentor is our Krishnamar sir only. And I got a lot of assistance from Mr. Premjit. He is actually a psychologist in the same place I am working, like Regional Early Intervention Center, IMCH Kozhikode. And he's an excellent clinical psychologist who is more into pediatrics. And I'm thankful for Dr. Sangeeta Joseph. And she was also a part of this module. And I also thank to the AHA team, our beloved President, Secretary Ranjit, everyone for bringing us to release this module. Okay, I think we will straight away go to the module. Hope it's clear for you now. Is the picture is clear?
Yes, sir. It's clear.
Okay. Is it moving?
Kindly put in a slideshow.
I think it's in slideshow only. It's
No.
No?
So you stop the share, put in slideshow, and then share it again.
Okay. Then
That way it may work, sir.
Okay, fine. How is it now? Is it in slideshow? Is it fine now?
You need to switch to slideshow.
No, it's still in the slideshow.
No, not yet. And you after sharing screen, you can switch to slideshow.
Oh, let me see once more. Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Moving now?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as Krishnamata sir told, anger, hostility, aggression. So, both are, all the three are very much related things. So, actually, I also don't know much about the syndromic term. Even I asked Dr. Deepa, Dr. Deepa actually coined the name first. And she told me about Swati Bhave Madam's textbook, as Sumaran sir mentioned. There only it mentioned like a syndrome. Anyway, nothing to do with our presentation, that syndrome part. So we will go to the module. So you have seen the title of our module, Dealing with an Expensive Luxury. So actually I was looking for a good quote to start the module. Actually, it's an Italian quote, maybe just like Parvati mentioned. Like it's a luxury. So everyone can become angry at any time, and you can spread out your emotions. But it is very expensive. Once you put your mouth out, or if you act something out of the anger, you can't retake that. Understood? So it's very expensive. So it's the expensive in the term. It's like it's the negative way. In the negative way, it's expensive. And I think it's very clear from the picture I have given. So the famous actor Will Smith, and who is famous for the non-movie Pursuit of Happiness, released in 2006. Even I'm a big fan of Will Smith, and if someone have seen his movie Pursuit of Happiness, it's like a positive energy. So you will be surprised to see Will Smith acting out of anger slapped the face of Chris Rock in the recent Oscar ceremony. It's for a small reason. He couldn't control his anger. So that's the impact of the anger. So first I want to mention about some of the definitions, and it's a common definitions I will mention in later on the module. First is the term irritability. So the irritability refers to a heightened propensity or vulnerability to feeling angry, and has been defined as an emotional state in which an individual is easily annoyed and provoked to get anger. What's an anger? Anger refers to an emotion. It is distinguished from irritability in that anger may be emotional component of an aggressive behavior. So then what is hostility? Hostility refers to a negative mindset of anger and aversion towards a person or thing. It is often accompanied by a desire to do harm to the another person. And aggression is what? Aggression has been defined as a state characteristic by feeling of inner tension with irritability and anxiety, and it has externalized symptoms, including excessive motor activity. So in total, I can tell it in similar terms. See, irritability is an emotion that can cause anger. And anger is an emotion that will stimulate an aggression or hostility. So hostility and aggression are both rooted in anger. And anger is a feeling, where hostility and aggression are behaviors that stem out of anger. ചുരുക്കി പറഞ്ഞാൽ നമ്മൾ മലയാളത്തിൽ പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആങ്കറിന് കയ്യും കാലും വെച്ചാൽ അത് അഗ്രഷൻ ആവും. ആങ്കർ വാഗൊണ്ട് അടിക്കുന്നതോ പെരുമാറുന്നതോ ആണ് നമ്മൾ ഹോസ്റ്റിലിറ്റി എന്ന് പറയുന്നത്. ആങ്കറിലേക്ക് എന്ത് നമ്മളെ വഴിവെക്കുന്നോ അത് ഇറിറ്റബിലിറ്റി ആവാം. And regarding the neurobiology behind AHA, anger, hostility, and aggression, just a few of the terms like prefrontal cortex. Always we will tell about prefrontal cortex when we talk about adolescence. And PAG system, that it includes the hypothalamus, amygdala, periaqueductal gray matter, so the limbic system that regulate your emotions. And bed nucleus of stria terminalis, again, it's an extension of amygdala. So the PAG and the stria together, we call it social behavior network. It plays an important role in the anger aggression cycle. And other things like striatum, including thalamus, caudate nucleus, neurotransmitters, dopamine, serotonin, other chemicals like vasopressin, oxytocin, all have a role in this anger cycle. So if you make it simple, like if there is an environmental cue if there are some factors or there is some triggers, it can stimulate your neurotransmitters, which can affect your prefrontal cortex. It gives some signals, wrong signals to the limbic system, and it will stimulate your hypothalamo pituitary axis, release cortisol hormones. Finally, you are in action. So that is the anger cycle. So it's the same thing I have mentioned before, the neural circuit of anger and aggression. And the environmental factors have an important role in the anger thing. So in the early life, child's irritable and neurobiological vulnerabilities may interact with a dysfunctional caregiving environment. So the home environment is very important. It influences the development of a growing brain that has difficulties controlling the emotions and behavior. Adverse traumatic childhood experience like severe stress, child abuse, and neglect and additional potent risk factors. So in an era of pandemics or like stress in studies and from the family, a broken family system and nuclear family setup, all chances of these environmental factors that trigger anger is very important. So Krishna Kumar sir has already mentioned regarding the other things, the other factors that can cause this anger. He has mentioned about the neurodevelopmental disorders like ADHD, hyperactivity disorder, or like ASD, autism, and other disruptive behavioral disorders like conduct disorder or a defiant disease, and mood disorders, traumatic brain injury, seizures, and childhood psychosis, all can be causes of the anger. So we have to suspect a pathological problem, a pathology or something like a clinical or neurodevelopmental or psychiatric issue, if we get a frequent episodic anger in children or adolescents. So we all get anger, kids get anger, but if it is in a regular process, it's like a maladaptive behavior, then always you have to suspect a neurodevelopmental issue or a disruptive behavioral disorder or a psychiatric issues or sometimes a seizure triggering a traumatic brain injury and all these things. I think better we will go with an example, a scenario. So Ashwin is a 14-year-old boy hailing from a middle-class family. Both of his parents are working. After they are shifted to a new place, parents were not getting time to spend with Ashwin because they reach home very late. So it's a working family. Both parents are working. Ashwin had a good rapport with his parents before, but after shifting their home or old system, the communication declined. Even though he wanted to share his school life with them, they were negligent to his conversations because of lack of time. Now he has a tendency to get angry whenever the parents try to talk to him. He gets frequent headaches whenever he thinks about his parents. He often gets angry with his classmates and doing worse in studies and school activities. So this is a scenario. So what are the storm starters? So these are the storm starters that trigger an anger episode. So in this down, you can see my feelings are hurt. So Ashwin's feelings is hurt and something is unfair to his normal life. And I don't get what I want. So all these questions pop up. So they are all acting as triggers. So what are anger producing situations? It can be a specific person or event. It can be an insult. It can be a stress. Very common nowadays. And disappointment or annoyance. It can be a fear or frustration. It can be a rejection. It can be a love failure. Having possession taken or broken. It can be a part of jealousy. Being teased or talked about. Low esteem, grief, or poor home life. So these all act as triggers. So here comes the firework model, just like firework. Anger is like firework. So there is a trigger that will cause a lot of thoughts and feelings. Your mind reacts, then outside actions, the body reacts, the aggression, anger comes out. So this is called the firework model. So it all starts from a trigger. So what are the things, warning signs that make you sense anger? Knots in the stomach. You feel like abdomen discomfort, clenching hands or jaw, feeling clammy or flushed, breathing faster, headache, pacing or needing to walk around, having trouble in concentrating, pounding heart, tensing shoulders. Just think about Suresh Gopi in some movie. Then all the emotions come in his face, all shows the anger episodes. And just as I told, the thought in the brain is getting mad. It will involve the autonomic nervous system, release of lot of hormones and chemicals in the blood. It increases the heart rate. It increases your blood sugar and pressure. It increases your breathing, impairs the senses, release deadly cortisol for flight and fight, drains adrenaline glands, stimulate fat cells, and even it gets converted to cholesterol. It causes a high BP. It affects your cardiovascular function. So what are the physical reactions? When you become angry, your body produces stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones enable you to fight or flee when you are in danger. If you cannot fight or flee, these hormones accumulate and attack your body. We'll just see some common thinking mistakes that influence the anger. One is generalization, very common, that we make a conclusion made out of a small amount of information. So by a small amount of information, we just arrive at a conclusion, and these conclusions are misleading and cause anger. Second is mind reading, process of understanding what other people are thinking. So like we are just reading others' mind in a wrong way and jump into anger. Emotion-laden language. We are so much emotional. And selective perceptions. Only a narrow way to look at things. Filtering lot of relevant informations. When you talk to somebody, you don't hear them completely. You just take few things from them and get into anger. And jumping into conclusions, I told you. Excessive pessimism. Tendency to see worst aspect of things or believe worst will happen. All the negative thoughts. No positive thinking. Perfectionism. Refusal to accept any standard short of perfection. You want to be perfect. You want others to be perfect. Excessive feeling of guilt. So these are some common thinking mistakes that influence the anger. And what are some common myths? Males are angrier than females. You feel like that? Of course not. So I can't tell females are more angrier than males. Both are, same in that aspect. Anger is bad. You can't always tell anger is bad, because sometimes anger have a positive, it can build your self-esteem, and it can help you cope with the stress, and it can defend you from fear and insecurity. So anger is not always bad. Anger is good. No, it is not good. We have seen it. They have a lot of problems. Anger is a problem only when you express it. No, and I have talked about hostility. You not only want to express it, even if you think about this, you can create issues. The older you get, more irritable you are. Normally, it's seen when you get more older, you get more milder. Anger is not to the age. It can affect all the people. Anger is all in the mind. No, it is not all in the mind. It comes in the action also. And anger is all about getting even. No, it is not a one-to-one process. It is different. Only certain type of people have a problem with anger. No, it's universal. Everyone can get anger. Even the most famous minor peoples also, in the history, it is told Jesus Christ has turned angry when he saw merchants in the church synagogue. So everyone go for angry, and anger results from human conflicts. No, it is not as a result of human conflicts only. Can be environmental factors also. So we'll go to a case scenario again. Asha is a pleasant looking girl who is studying in 10th standard. She used to do a routine course, study every day and get average marks in all exams. Asha's neighbor is Swati, who is her classmate and used to get more marks than Asha in all exams. Asha's mother started to compare her with Swati regarding marks, and Asha was very upset regarding this. After some time, Asha stopped doing a regular course. She started getting angry whenever she sees Swati. Her heartbeat will increase, body temperature will become high, and also unknowingly she will make a fist. Recently, whenever they get a free time in class, Asha started yelling to Swati without any reason. there have been instances like Asha pushed Swati when she accidentally touched her while walking. So this is a scenario. You can see two issues here. One is a verbal or emotional outcome of anger, and other one is a physical outcome. So I have mentioned both hostility as well as aggression in this scenario. The first thing you can say that she make a fist or she was reluctant to talk to, that is an emotional, that's an hostility. And when she pushed Swati, it is aggression. So there's a transactional cycle of hostility. So hostile person's behavior, an hostile person will be behaving defensive and aggressive to other one. So the recipient response will be sometimes they will be having a surprise, they will avoid that person, and sometimes it will be defensive. So there lies the transaction. So it will reinforce a hostile behavior again to the first person. So this cycle rotates. So this is a transactional cycle of hostility. So hostility is the verbal aggression, is an emotion expressed through verbal abuse, lack of cooperation, violation of rules and norms, or threatening behavior. While physical aggression is a behavior in which a person attacks or injures another person, or that involves destruction of the property. So this is the aggression cycle. So just like anger, there is a trigger, then there is an escalation phase, there is an explosion phase, then a post-explosion phase also. So the explosion phase, we will get the maximum aggression, that's the violence part. So know the difference between anger and aggression. Aggression is one negative way in which individuals express anger. Aggression causes damage with words, fists, or weapons, but it is virtually always designed to punish. Aggression is intended to threaten or injure the victim's security or self-esteem. You can express your anger without being verbally or physically abused also. And as Krishna Kumar sir told, there is an important, this is very important concept like adaptive as well as maladaptive aggression. So I like to describe with this example, it will be easier. So take scenario one, child with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, walking home alone from the school, who is suddenly surrounded by a youth gang intent of taunting, bullying, and then physically assaulting him. In this child, this child responds with sudden, frenzied, impulsive, intense aggression towards his attackers, who are momentarily taken aback. Using this brief interruption to maximal advantage, the child runs away and makes his safe escape from the gang encounter. So this is called adaptive aggression. This is an example of adaptive aggression. So what is adaptive aggression? Behavior that arises from a CNS that functions optimally due to evolutionary adaptation. It's a normal part of development. It serves important short-term and long-term goals, including resource acquisition, defense of the individual or groups, and establishment of dominance in social groups. Adaptive aggression saves many pro-social ends such as competition in academic pursuits, sports, or business. I told you, it can improve your self-esteem. It defends your fear and insecurity. It helps you coping with the stress. Some cases, adaptive aggression can cause harm and distress in the society. The most important example is neighborhood gang violence. Sometime out of this gang, some people will emerge as supreme people and they can cause issues like leadership hierarchy, threats, theft, and all those issues. And scenario two, this same child arrives home, puts off completing his homework assignments and settle in front of an electronic first-person shooter game to calm down. Intensely absorbed in the game, he does not hear his mother tell him to turn off the game, wash his hands, and come to dinner. He responds with sudden, frenzied, impulsive, intense verbal threats towards his mother, throwing objects and punching the wall. In this case, this becomes a maladaptive aggression. It is an associated behavior of an impaired CNS that is not functioning optimally. It is more likely to occur in individuals with psychiatric and neurological illness. It is also called pathological aggression. Maladaptive aggression occurs in response to minimal or absent provocation, as mentioned in the scenario, tends to be abrupt, impulsive, inappropriately intense, frequent, and often excessive in duration. A state of lost control, suggestive of extreme of behavior and emotional dysregulation is noticed in maladaptive aggression. So always it's told like it's okay to be angry, but hostility and aggression is a problem. You have to manage it. I pass over the module to Mr. Premjit, clinical psychologist, for the rest of the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the crisp and clear presentation and for making us clearly understand what exactly this confusing AHA or AHA syndrome means through the different interesting and simple case scenarios. Thank you so much, sir. Now, may I invite Mr. Premjit, rehabilitation psychologist, Regional Early Intervention Center, Medical College, Kozhikode. He did his BSc Psychology from the University of Calicut and MSc Psychology from Pondicherry Central University and MPhil in Rehabilitation Psychology at National Institute for Mentally Handicapped. And he has the experience of working as a rehabilitation psychologist in many centers, both inside and outside Kerala. So I think he is the apt person to talk about this module. And I'm extremely happy to invite Mr. Premjit to talk about management of AHA syndrome.
Thank you, Dr. Parvati. So, likely to move to the presentation. Before that, thank you AHA and thank you IAP Kerala here for having me here. And can you see the presentation? The slides are visible. Sorry.
No,
not visible.
you share the screen.
Ranjit, if you want, I can share the screen. We can talk. No issues.
Sir, please share the screen, sir. Showing some error in this part.
No problem. I will do it. Okay. Okay, visible, Ramjit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can talk. Okay, fine. I will move once we finish.
Okay, sir. So, good evening, all. So we move on to the topic here before wasting our time. So already Sanju sir have already explained what is aggression, what is hostility, and what is anger, as well as what are the neurobiology behind it, and what are the present scenarios. And here's the situation, the anger cues and anger provoking situations. He has explained everything. Now we'll go to the part of dealing with the anger. So we'll see how we can deal with the anger. So to deal with anger, first of all, the one thing we have to know is we have to identify our triggers and anger cues. Triggers is, Sanju sir already explained, what are the anger evoking situations. Each one have their own situations. Each person will have their own situations or their own scenarios which produce anger in them. So first thing we have to see is we have to identify all those triggers, all those anger producing situations. It might be a person, or it might be a place, or it might be some scenarios, anything. It depends on the person. So first thing is we have to identify those things. And it is also help to identify our cues that sir has already explained. The cues also will be different from each person to other person. Some person will become red when he is getting angry, or some person will shiver when he is getting angry, or a person will make a fist, or some will palpitate a lot. So it's depend on person to person. So these things we have to identify first. First is try to see the anger producing situation or anger triggers and identify our cues. When we identify those things, the triggers and cues, the first thing we can do, there are certain things we can do. The first thing we can do is one thing that we can try to avoid them. The most cases, it is difficult for us to avoid those triggers because it might be our working setup, or it might be in our family. So it will be difficult for it to avoid that. But in certain cases, we can definitely avoid the situation. So things we can avoid, we just avoid those things. And other things, we learn how to deal with them. So there are certain things that we can see how to deal with them. And there is another thing also that we learn how to put your feelings, how to put our anger or any other feelings into words or any other form of action. Some people you might heard of some music directors or music or actors, they will convert their anger or other things to words or other creative works. So these three things we can try. And a third thing will be not everyone's cup of tea. So we can try first thing or the second thing, learn how to deal with them. So we moving on to the next slide. There are certain management techniques that we use for the management of aggression. These techniques we use as a psychological management. You might be heard of these things like cognitive behavior therapy, relaxation techniques, and psychodynamic therapy, group therapy, play therapy. These all these are some of the techniques we use to deal with aggression. But I know that the day-to-day basis we cannot use all these things. That is because it need more time. Also, it need expertise to deal with these techniques. But I can just generally say what we do with this. First, CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. In this, we make the patients to understand their situations, that anger-provoking situations, and we will help them to understand those situations. And we'll give daily tasks, and we'll evoke their responses, and we'll be with them to understand their responses and give you alternative solution to act according to that. It's task-based basically. So, so yeah, it takes some time. It takes a lot of time actually, and we need to know more about it to go with that CBT. And relaxation technique, it is not like general relaxation. There are some detailed coordinated movements, coordinated relaxation. That's one is stress inoculation. Stress inoculation is we give a imaginary situation to the client. Actually, we imagine them to that someone is attacking you and that make you angry, and we give imaginary circumstances, and we'll see how they're going to react in that. And from there, we provide alternative situations and make the patient to deal with that. And stress inoculation will work in that way, and we have to adapt with these situations. And another technique is JPMR, that is Jacobson Progressive Muscle Relaxation Technique. That usually for physical, when we know that when we get angry, there will be muscle tension. So to release, after we releasing the muscle tension only, the person will be properly relaxed. So from in JPMO, what we will do, we do that relaxation major muscle group from head to toe. We tense each muscle group and relax according to the instruction and supervision, continuous supervision. And another thing is psychodynamic therapy, that things we do when there is underlying conflicts or any unconscious things, that unresolved things are there, that a person will be have a prejudice against some group or person or any situation like that. We help them to understand that unconscious motives, and we help them to come up with adaptive way of attaining that action, adaptive way of dealing with that unconscious motives. And another thing is group therapy. Group therapy is mainly we use because if a person getting angry, so there is a chance that that person might feel a lot of guilt, and also he might feel isolated because other group or colleagues members, they won't accept in the group, and he might feel lonely or something. So in group therapy, what we do, we make them, that person, to feel less lonely. Also, he can hear others' coping mechanism, how they reacted or how they will express their way of handling anger. So he can understand that and he can adapt those things in his daily life. And play therapy is mainly used for younger children only. So we use them in a creative way of play, and we help the children to express their feelings and thoughts uh, in a adaptive way. Actually, we use clear punching bags or use toys or use role plays. These things we use in play therapy. These are the general one of some of psychological management we used to do. I know we cannot do it in the regular setting, but these are the advanced things we can try if there is uncontrollable anger. So there are some helpful useful tips that we can try in the regular situations, that day-to-day activities which we can try to deal with angry behavior. So we can see what all are those things. First thing is relaxation by breathing technique, that anybody can do anywhere, anytime. There won't be any there won't be any restricted to place, person, or time. So we can anywhere we can try those things. The breathing exercise means basically deep breathing. We used to do that. Deep breathing is nothing but we can just inhale and hold it for a while, then like 5 to 10 seconds, then we can exhale. Inhale through nose and exhale through mouth. This is nothing but that we'll get a break from those situations. When we are in an anger evoking situation, if we take a deep breath, it will help us to take a quick break in that anger situation, provoking situation. It helps us to think clearly, and we can respond according to that. The basic physiology behind it, people used to say like we'll get more oxygen to the brain, and it will help that to help react to according to clearly. So one is deep breathing technique. Another is timing. Timing plays a very important role. I'll just an example. If we are staying out of our family, someone is not with their family, they are staying outside somewhere for their job or anything else. So after the regular work, if it's a doctor, he have his clinic, and after that he will reach home late, and it will be a hectic day for him. So after he reach home, he might get a call from his family after his dinner or something. But there also he will get like only complaints, like children is not studying, and landowner is saying this, and we have to pay that, we have to pay this. So he have more chance to get irritated and become angry towards that person. So that timing, that night time or after this clinic and everything, the timing plays an important role. Then we can suggest that if you can talk to your spouse or you talk to your partner in another time of the day, like if it's in the night it's happening, try to change that timing to evening time or any other time, like the gap between hospital and the clinic, and we can try changing that timing so it will affect to reduce his behavior, angry behavior towards the particular person or the incident. And third thing is count till 10 before responding. That's an old thing we used to hear from decades, that if you get angry, you just count from 1 to 10. Your anger will be reduced. But most of the people don't believe that actually. And they'll say like, okay, while counting 1 to 10, how it will help us. It's like we are deviating our attention. That's the main goal behind that. It's not the magic of numbers that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, the anger god. It's not like that. It's we are just deviating our attention from that anger provoking situation to another thought. That is the thing behind that. So I say like if we just not count, please imagine those numbers in the mind also. Otherwise, people will think like, okay, after finishing I'll 10, I'll scold that guy. It's not like that. So just try to imagine those numbers in the mind also, that 1, 2, 3, 4, just imagine those numbers in the mind. That help us to just deviate our attention from that present situation to any other, in just any other situation, or we'll get a time to think to before responding. So it's like, and someone will say, might you drink water, it will help us to reduce our anger. That also, like the physiology behind that, it's right that if we lack of the water content is less in our body, you will feel more irritated. That also help in a certain way. Okay, the next thing is talk to someone you feel trusting. It's important to have a third perspective if we are in a anger evoking situation or with someone else. It's good to have a third perspective, and then whom you trust, it will be more adaptable or adequate. So it will be good to have a talk with other person regarding the situation. So we'll get a third perspective according to that, and we can deal with it afterwards. And next thing is go for a quick walk. That is also we taking a time from the situation. If we are in a that anger evoking situation, or someone will call us and someone is saying, do that, do this time, you will only have this much time, you have to do it now, everything, they will just continuously saying that, just we can just tell them, okay, please give me some time, I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Then take a break from there, just go to a walk or have a tea or go to washroom or anything. They can just take a break from it, and it will help us to understand the present situation, and we can act more reasonably. And other thing is act yourself all the time, like why is this making me angry? Just ask yourself. More self-talk will help us to deal with the anger sometimes. Like why this thing making me angry? Is it really worth getting angry? So these things we have to ask ourselves when we are in that kind of situation. And this self-talk, we don't need to blurt it out. We just need to talk it ourselves, and we'll get an answer to that. So we can talk it more reasonably afterwards. And also we can use the calming words, like if you are in that heightened situation, you can use that words like, okay, calm down. You can do it. That also we can try. Also just let it be, or just forget it. It will be fine. We can use those self-soothing words, and it will have an effect on us. But it might be simple to hear it, but it has a good effect on us if we try that things in a regular basis. Okay, next thing is the ways for relaxation. There are certain relaxation that not like JPMR or stress inoculation. There are other relaxation technique that everyone can do at their daily routines. Everyone can incorporate in their daily routine. But the relaxation part is different from one person to another person. That some person will be like to listening to music or watching TV or exercise or reading a book. Like there will be different kind of relaxation. First thing that we have to identify what is our part of what is our relaxation. What makes us relax more? Someone will have a playlist for going to the office and coming back from the office. They will have a different playlist and who likes music. So that will change their mood. And someone will like to go to gym and hit the punch bag, and their anger is reduced. Each person will find their own relaxation technique, and you can try to incorporate in that daily life also. And someone will like to browse in the internet or watching TV and just pass the channels and all. Okay. The next thing is the main thing that an anger situation is evolved because our difficulties in communication. So first thing we have to know that we have to improve our communication skills, and that will help us to reduce the anger provoking situations in our day-to-day lives. So just when we do, it's like improving our communication skill means just listen to others, just slow down and listen to others like what they are saying, and don't rush into conclusions, and just patiently just listen to them. Okay, try to understand what they are saying, and we can express our thing also in a gently manner. And like Sanju sir said before, don't jump into conclusions, and don't try to mind read. Ask them what they really meant, and we can just clarify things. Sometimes we just misinterpret things and we just blurt it out to them. So it will be good to don't jump into conclusions or trying to mind read them. Ask them what you really mean by these things. Okay, you really mean by this thing. Okay, my opinion is like this. Okay, we can just start like that, or we can just continue our conversation like that, and try to understand the feeling behind what they are saying. Like there will be any other emotional working situations, so we just try to understand what is behind their emotion, why they reacted like this. We just try to understand that, just communicate with them naturally. Okay, you felt like this, why you felt like that? Just ask them questions in a calmly manner, so they will set their expression, they will set their emotions, why they talked like this, like that, or why that situation has evolved. And try and express and talk about what your feelings really are, rather than going into angry words. Like before we, when we get angry, we started blurting out things. So before that, just try to express or talk our feelings really in a what our really meant. Try to talk like that. These are some of the things we can see. The main thing is you cannot change others as easily as we can change yourself. The thing is we can change ourselves easily more than we can try to change others. And sir already said what is hostility, and this is one just slide we kept for how we can handle hostile people, because it might cause danger to each person, everyone. So it will be good to keep it safe and protect ourselves first, and keep our distance and keep our options open, and keep our cool to avoid escalation. Because if we also lose our control and we started blurting out things, and it might escalate to other physical dangers. They might come, they were started to hit us, or they verbally abuse us or stab us. These things can happen. So it will be good. In one side, we try to keep our cool, and that will avoid other escalations. So it will be good not to personalize, be proactive rather than reactive. Okay. Actually, we have incorporated this picture. That's a person and he started blurting out the thunder coming from that person, rather than seeing that person's just reacting on us, see that person as a is crying for a help, or is trying to communicate that he needs help. So it will be good to picturize these things that help us to reduce our anger. Here I'm not saying we don't need to get angry, but thing is we need to be assertive. We not to be submissive and we are not to be aggressive. The middle is assertive. So we need to we know our right, so we have to stand for our right and be assertive rather than submissive and aggressive. Moving. Now, we'd like to summarize these things, what we have already said. First things, we have to recognize our anger thoughts and start challenging them using these kind of methods. And next thing, use relaxation and other ways to control the physical symptoms of anger. That we can try to use the relaxation things to reduce the physical symptoms of anger. And understand and control anger behavior and try new calmer actions. We have to understand our anger behavior and we can try these calmer actions and do it in our daily life. And the main thing is to improve our communication and problem solving skill, which help us to engage less in that anger provoking situation. And we do not allow ourselves to continue with long-term critical belief about ourselves. Like it's not like we cannot change ourselves. We don't need to be like, okay, this won't work on us. We don't need to be think like that. Try to allow ourselves to engage new actions, or try to engage us in practicing these things. So it will help us only. And in case of emergency, we can seek professional help also. If things are getting out of our hand, the anger is not, we are not able to control our anger, then we can seek professional help to escalate or to see what other things we can do to regulate our aggression. So this was Aristotle's challenge that anyone can become angry. That is easy. So, but to be angry with the right person, the right degree, the right time, the right purpose, in the right way, that is not easy. So we have to see that and act according to it. These are some of our references. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Premjit, for the excellent presentation. And after hearing this module, I think that first we should control our emotions. We should practice all this relaxation and breathing techniques. As Riya said, even though we are light-hearted pediatricians, sometimes we get angry for silly reasons. First, we should control our emotions. Then only we can teach the society, or we can make this module reach the grassroots level to make wonders of the life of adolescents. So thank you so much for the excellent presentation. Now, I request all our dear senior members to add some inputs or to add some suggestions to make this module much better and to implement this module in the society in a more effective way.
Can I ask you one question?
Sure, sir.
Sanjay and Pranjit, actually, have you made the module for us?
Yeah. No, it's actually not a module for adolescents. Actually, it's for a pediatrician. It's actually opening up the topic to the professionals.
I think that is the best thing. When Premjit was talking, I was thinking myself how to control this anger, aggressive behavior. And is there a chance to write in Malayalam?
Sure, sir. Next thing is that we are going to the grassroots, like we are going to address the adolescents directly. That time we are doing in the Malayalam version and with more pictures and not to these topics, not the theoretical parts, because they won't fit for this. Okay, only the practical.
That may, Sanjay, I think it is very useful if you are writing in Malayalam. It is not going to be theory, but minimum theory. I think. Thank you. That is very that's nice.
I think Krishnamar sir will talk about this.
Actually, I think they have presented very well. As Joseph sir mentioned, congratulations to Dr. Sanju.
Thank you, sir.
And Premjit. Especially, I think the last 2-3 slides mentioned by Premjit is very important. As Patani sir was mentioning, it's important for us also how we manage our anger. Actually, the what we meant was pediatricians should be aware of these things, and they should be able to, or we should be able to convey the message to adolescents and parents also. That was actually the aim of the module. Or rather than taking a class in our office practice, most of the time when a child comes with aggressive behavior or behavior issues, these things we can advise. It won't take much time also, just like counting numbers and or it's actually you are redirecting your attention. ഞാൻ സാധാരണ പറയും നമ്മുടെ ട്രാഫിക് സിഗ്നല് സ്റ്റോപ്പ് സിഗ്നല് ഓർക്കാൻ പറയാ. അതിന്റെ ബേസിക് പ്രിൻസിപ്പിൾ ഇസ് ദ മൈൻഡ് ക്യാൻ, നമ്മുടെ മനസ്സിൽ ഒരു സമയത്ത് ഒരു കാര്യമേ നിൽക്കുള്ളൂ. അപ്പൊ വെൻ യു കൗണ്ട് നമ്പർ 10 or you think about something, ഈ ആങ്കറിന്റെ ഇഷ്യൂ മനസ്സിൽ നിന്ന് പോവും. So it's a very simple technique, and that is actually the aim. So anybody wants to add anything? Or
it was a very crisp, clear presentation and very practical suggestions from the team. I really congratulate all of you. A small correction, this term was not coined by me. Research Google Scholar or PubMed. There's a lot of
just joke, Diva.
Yeah, it was good. Nalla talk. It was very good. But unfortunately, very less people participate in this, isn't it? Very less people involved in the talk. I think very few. That's only tragedy.
Sir, we can share the link, YouTube link, sir, so that.
Thank you. It's very good.
Thank you, sir. Anyway, we'll make it in a Malayalam version, sir. Sure. And we try to, as sir told, other than the adolescent practice, we want to make something like you can practice, make use in the common day-to-day practice. Give small tips of advice or something like that for the kids. It will be good.
No, we can take classes to health workers also. That's why I ask in Malayalam. English, there's so many talks. It's very difficult also.
Yes, sir. Yes, sure.
Yeah, it was a wonderful. Both of you tried level best to inculcate something to our mind. Thank you very much. Thank you. We are old people.
Okay. So no more questions. So we'll conclude.
Dr. Krishnamar, just congratulate. I don't have much idea about this in this area. I was listening to your talk, and congratulations, both of you, Sanju. And,
thank you, sir.
First time I'm hearing both of you, Pranjit and Sanju. You wonderfully, you did very well. And one doubt. Maybe it's a foolish question. Well, is there a role for pets in this control of anger?
You mean pets, sir? Pets like sir, Krishnamar, sir?
I think Premjit പറയും.
Definitely, sir. There is a role actually. There is a term called pet therapy also. There is a pet therapy clinic in Bangalore, I think. There are a lot of cases coming of anger issues also, and they try to engage with pets, especially dogs, I think there, and encourage them, and it help them to relax actually. By relaxation methods, they're incorporating with the pet therapy.
പുരുഷോത്തമൻ സാർ, ഈ കോവിഡ് കാലത്ത് ആക്ച്വലി എല്ലാ പെറ്റ് ഷോപ്പിലും പെറ്റ് സെയിൽ കൂടി. ഈവൻ എൻ്റെ ഒരുപാട് റിലേറ്റീവ്സ്, ഞങ്ങളിപ്പോൾ എല്ലാ വീടുകളിലും ഓരോ നായ്ക്കുട്ടികളുണ്ട്, ഓരോ we got 4 ducks. Gitara sister മകള് വന്നപ്പോൾ അവൾക്ക് so it becomes അതൊരു ഡൈവേർഷൻ ആണ് ആക്ച്വലി റിലാക്സേഷൻ ഡൈവേഴ്സൺ. അപ്പൊ അതിൽ ഈ പെറ്റ് തെറാപ്പി എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞതിനോട് ഐ ഡോണ്ട് നോ വെദർ വി കൻ സേ ജസ്റ്റ് ലൈക്ക് മ്യൂസിക് തെറാപ്പി എന്ന് പറയുന്ന. സോ ഇറ്റ്സ് ആക്ച്വലി കുട്ടികൾ പെറ്റ്സിനോട് ഇടപഴകുന്നു, സോഷ്യലൈസേഷന്റെ. നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഓട്ടിസം കുട്ടികളിൽ അങ്ങനെ പറയും ഹോഴ്സ് തെറാപ്പി എന്നൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞിട്ട് ആനിമൽസിനോട് അടുപ്പമുണ്ടാക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ദാറ്റ് വിൽ ഗ്രാജുവലി മറ്റ് ആളുകളോട് അടുപ്പമുണ്ടാക്കാനും സോഷ്യലൈസേഷനും ഒക്കെ ഹെൽപ്പ് ചെയ്യും. ആൻഡ് യു ക്യാൻ ഡൈവേർട്ട് കുറെ ഇമോഷൻസ് ഈ പെറ്റ്സിന്റെ അതിലേക്ക് പോകാൻ പറ്റും. സോ ദർ ആർ റോൾസ് ലൈക്ക് ദറ്റ്. ബട്ട് അവർ ഇപ്പോഴത്തെ നമ്മുടെ ടെൻഡൻസി പറയുന്ന എല്ലാ കോമൺ ആസ്പെക്ടിനെയും വി മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് എ സിൻഡ്രോം ഓർ മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ആസ് എ തെറാപ്പി.
ചെറിയ ഡബിൾ എഡ്ജ് ആണ് വെദർ ടു സപ്പോർട്ട് ടു വാട്ട് എക്സ്റ്റെൻഡ് എന്നുള്ള കാര്യം. ബിക്കോസ് with the onset of when we are here having more and more of the infections, how far it is safe is on one side, that is one thing to be. And Sanju and Pranjit, both of you make, as Patani sir said, more of Malayalam versions and more of stories, small പഞ്ചതന്ത്രം കഥകൾ പോലെയാണ്. ഇപ്പോ ആൾക്കാരനെ നന്നാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടിയിട്ടുള്ള പണ്ട് പറഞ്ഞിരുന്ന കഥകളിലൂടെയാണ് മെച്ചപ്പെടുത്താൻ പറ്റുന്നത്. ഇതെല്ലാം സ്മോൾ മിഠായികളുടെ രൂപത്തിലുള്ള കൊച്ചു സുമംഗല ടീച്ചറുടെ കഥകൾ പോലെ ആക്കിയിട്ട് നിങ്ങൾ രണ്ടുപേരും കൊണ്ടുവരും എന്ന് ഞാൻ വിചാരിക്കുന്നു. കാരണം എന്നെ പോലുള്ള ആളുകൾക്ക് സൈക്യാട്രി വിഭാഗത്തിന്റെ നോട്ട് മച്ച് വെൽ വേഴ്സ് ദിസ് തിങ് ബിക്കോസ് ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം. അതുകൊണ്ട് ദാറ്റ്സ് മൈ നോട്ട് because of my ignorance, I'm not talking or commenting about this content aspect, but if it is provided in small മിഠായികളായിട്ട് തരികയാണെങ്കിൽ definitely that be enjoyable for me too and others also.
Sure sir.
Okay sir, sure sir.
So over to you, Dr. Parvati.
So now I invite our own Deepa Madam, Dr. Deepa Janathanan, for proposing the vote of thanks.
Good evening, one and all. Respected Sukumaran sir, past National President Central IAP, Vijay Kumar sir, President IAP Kerala, Jose sir, President-elect IAP Kerala, Jayaraman sir, immediate past President IAP Kerala, Riyaz sir, Johnny sir, Ranjit sir, Krishna Kumar sir, Joseph Patani sir, Preecha ma'am, Sanju and Mr. Premjit. As you all know, this was the launch of the first module of AHA Kerala's Presidential Action Plan of 2022. Sanju, Premjit and Sangeeta Joseph ma'am have put in immense efforts to research, study and prepare this wonderful module on this relatively new topic, AHA syndrome, under the able guidance of the most respected Krishna Kumar sir. A big thanks to all of you. Let me now take this opportunity to thank our beloved Sukumaran sir for blessing this occasion with his gracious presence and for delivering the inaugural address. AHA Kerala has been fortunate to be part of the very supportive IAP Kerala. Let me thank our Honorable President Vijay Kumar sir and Secretary Johnny sir for all the help and support extended. I would like to express my gratitude to Jose sir, Jayaraman sir, Riyaz sir and Ranjit sir for sparing your time and giving your felicitations. A special word of thanks to the team IAP Kottayam led by Joseph Patani sir and Preecha ma'am for all the support and participation. I consider it a privilege being part of the team AHA Kerala, such a dynamic team headed by Shibu sir with Sanju and Ranjit sir. Thank you for all the guidance and help provided. Thank you, Dr. Parvati, who hosted this program so beautifully and made it so lively. Also, a special word of thanks to Purushothaman sir for your valuable suggestions. Last but not the least, I would like to thank all the participants for sparing your time and attending this session. I hope this session would help us have a positive change in the way we look at ourselves and the outside world the next time we get angry. Thank you. Thank you all.